back. Uh, my big words and all that. It's been a while, hasn't it? But I'm still here and I'm still going strong. I partly have to read to you now because my memory is being affected. So, during this absence period, really, I only it's so wonderful to know people. I'm saying in my life, blah 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 blah, but actually, I've started being myself and normal again, and mainly think everybody's an absolute plum unless proven afterwards. The truth, isn't it? I started being myself again, so that's good. But that time is I don't have scope for it now. Like things move on. So if it's not your part of my not core sort of life or Kerry or Cooper, then I don't have the scope for it to really as it were anymore. Um, but stay with me, right? I'll stay with you. Um, so yeah, you've noticed I haven't been here for a while, and that's totally my normal behaviour. Frankly, it's as simple as that. My life normally consists of periods and episodes and whatnot. It's all I've ever known in life. Like in its entirety, and nothing was going to change at this time in this situation, as it were. Um, I have to read my notes. I'll forget what I'm saying basically, and all will jumble, right? But you'll get used to it. I'm sure you'll cope, right? Just give me a moment. A sort of obsessive down period that I would enjoy in life occasionally. Anyway, but without the actual down part, as it were. So it's actually totally unusual and different thing. Because my behaviours in the tower one, I've been quite locked in, but I've not been like sort of down. Like normally under pressure, if there was like troubles and difficulties in life, I would I would either be beaten by it and I'd fall into a down, and it would be ghastly that you don't want to know about, basically. Even after 25 years of telling myself that I know everything about everything, but 25 years later, same old downers, isn't it? Sad, isn't it? But anyway, it's okay for me not to be perfect. It's as simple as that. Yes. So yeah, just for once, I've listened to the people I asked to tell me what they thought in the first place. Which normally I would ask somebody their opinion and then immediately told them they were wrong and only I knew everything. This is like, yeah, this is me. So just for once, I've listened to the professional people who I actually asked for in the first place, and like possibly got out of my butt. We'll see, but I'll give it a go, right? Yes. So my situation now, as I say, time has passed by, obviously, and I'm still going strong. Basically, physically, I'm doing really well. I can still walk around. Apart from my having an issue with my legs puffing up, but we can do something about that in the shorter term. Apparently, I'll sit forward a bit so you can actually see me a bit more. So I'm still hanging strong in those regards. I could probably, frankly, if I was to go completely mental, which I'm completely, absolutely capable of, I reckon I could walk into town if I didn't mind sort of ending up in hospital afterwards. But I reckon I could do it, right? I am a nut job after all. You have to remember these things. When I was young, I walked from John and Groats to Land's End. When I was in my 20s, I used to do a lot of walking. It was my big thing. Walking was my big thing. Not sailing, was walking. After the cycling in Africa, cycling wasn't for me, but walking is for me, basically interacting with the world and people. But I walked I've walked everywhere. I could go on forever, but I did John and Groats to Land's End, and the reason is because I had a complete mental breakdown at the time. It was the worst time of my whole life, basically. Um, it's a long time ago, until recently, actually. The one recently is actually the worst one, not that one. But okay, so the second worst one was that one. But the walking has got me through the situation, basically. If I'm walking, like the world comes in the front and it goes out the back, the world and the environment and the experience, and within it, I'm only in this and sort of existing there in a place I can survive anything in. And in life, I've survived a lot of things. But the one thing that I will not survive is this. You have to bear in mind, now obviously my dose of morphine is huge now, but well, to me it's huge, like relative. The bottle's not in the equation anymore, so to me it seems like a huge dose, but apparently that's absolutely small peanuts. Apparently, but to me, like personal prior experience, it's a lot, but it's not really apparently. So I'm going to show you like my the stories about the past and all that is really off the equation now. My short-term memory is absolutely really like just entirely basically functional, not the comedy memory, the reality memory, but the immediate sort of what's happening right now is like is gone. But so I've upgraded. The board has been tasked because I'm not really having visitors and whatever. 10 minutes or something is generally enough, or longer if they're very easy to deal with. Basically, the social sort of things are more difficult to deal with. So, like for instance, the reality of like real memory issues in the world, you know, the real thing. For like my taking this point is showing you I doing that for no reason. Like the medicines, midday and midnight medicines, I have to tick them because I can take them. I can either, like for instance, the lunchtime medicines, I could tell myself, okay, do your tablets now at midday, and I could easily, though I might remember about the tablets numerous times during the day, staying focused on the memory in order to actually do it and take the thing. If I don't like get my stick together, as it were, I'm quite capable of getting to midnight and I haven't actually done it. Ditto, feeding self, all these kind of issues. If you just like let it be, let it happen, as it were, that's exactly what would happen if I was trying to live like a normal, you know, situation without my sort of efforts. At least my ego tells me this, at least, as it were. Then I could quite easily, I'd get to midnight and not have had any tablets, not eaten anything all day, not done anything, because like short-term memory, particularly because I'm extremely obsessive in my sort of nature, sometimes for useful ways and sometimes in less useful ways, particularly because of my personal obsessiveness. I could easily just go through the whole day and achieve absolutely nothing whatsoever. Simple as that. So, but the methods that I've made and my efforts basically are working for me completely. Basically, in order, because like short-term memory is an issue and there's no point in struggling. So the preparations I've made go as far as like metazepin is red, because I don't need to have to keep remembering what is the red one and when should I take it. It's which is the big white is at this time. I don't have to remember this. And when you have like sort of, you know, proper memory challenges to sort of live and deal with, making these preparations, it does work. As simple as that. It does work if you're ever in that situation. So the thing I'm trying to explain, this is difficult to explain, as it were, describe, that word I was looking for, because I'm not living in like a la-la land or something like that. It's short-term memory, it's short-term, immediate memory is the thing. So if I'm thinking one thing and something distracts me to the next subject, to come to the new subject is difficult, and the previous immediate subject is completely gone because it's just been pushed out. They can't be there. It's keeping up with the change is very difficult. But it's not. I'm not in like la la land. I just, well, maybe I am. Perhaps I am. Perhaps I am. Who knows? But it's not like that basically. Um, generally speaking, I have conversations, do normal things, hobble around the yard, chatting to people. But playing my computer games and things like that, I can't really do now because too much focus and concentration is needed. Whereas the game needs a lot of concentration, whereas daydreaming, it doesn't take a lot of effort at all, does it? So I can do a couple of hours daydreaming in the middle of a turn and then remember the game again. So it's not very useful. So my life as a computer game player is over now. Max. So as you can see, things are ready for sea as they are at all times, apart from the plants that have gone out for some sunshine. Basically, I'm still at sea on my voyage, captain of my ship. That's who I am.